one last check. Yeah, I mean, everything looks good on my side. Are you sure the echo was coming from me?
1 second.
Or...
I need to change my mic.
What normally happens, boys, is if on Discord itself, if you scroll down to the bottom, if you pop the window out or you haven't popped it out, there's a sound volume. You have to mute yourself on the Discord app if you've popped out. So
the microphone volume, you mean?
So I'll see if I can take a screenshot of it just so you can. It's hard to explain.
Yeah, I actually saw it.
It's kind of like weird to explain.
Yeah, make a screenshot just in case. Where are you gonna send it?
Yeah, I think I see it. It's in the bottom, like where the volume is, I think. Yeah.
I thought it was print screen.
Where are you sending the screenshot now?
He'll just put it in the chat. He'll put it in the chat.
There you go. There you go. If you open up the chat, you know, on Discord by the study corner core, you should see it, Stoyan. I'll tag you.
Yeah. Study corner.
Yeah, and you can see I've just dragged my volume to 0. I just make sure I don't echo.
Yeah, that's what I did. You see on the right hand side, towards the right hand side before the chat.
Can you see it bottom right? Or I can circle it if I need to, I guess.
That's fine. I'm sure you can see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the chat.
So
if
you
the chat on the left, yeah.
Sorry.
It's before the chat.
So when you look at the, can you see the screenshot, Stoyan? Can you see the screenshot now?
It's on your screen. Look at
the screen, right?
Open chat. Yeah, I saw it now.
So if you look at the screenshot, at the bottom, at the bottom right, there's a little microphone. Just there, okay. Where your mouse was.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, that just make sure that's muted, and then it won't echo. All right.
Okay.
It only appears when you scroll down. You have to like scroll down to get it.
Cool. 1 second. I'm also not a Discord specialist. I usually do everything through Zoom because it saves it and gives me transcripts, and I connect it with AI. But now we have this. Just give me a second. I mean, when I just a second. Okay. I popped up this window. So yeah, it's apparently should be here. Somewhere here. Do you see the screen?
Yeah, I see the screen. So what I do, I press the return to Discord button to start with, and then you should be able to find the mode.
Where's the return to Discord though?
So if you go down to the bottom.
Yeah, I found it.
There you go. Now you should find the mic.
No, it's not there. Like it was on your screen, it's not on my screen. But is there echo? If there is no echo, I mean.
No, I hear no echo. Your sound sounds fine to me. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine for me.
It sounds good. We can just start.
Yeah, just start.
Let's run it.
Here, so let's run it. Yeah. All right.
We don't need the stream.
Let me just turn my camera on. Let's see. Taking a while. You don't see my camera, do you? It's taking a little while.
It's loading.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Sometimes this was really crap. It's like it's bugged the fuck. If you, I don't know if there's a way for you to manually unplug or replug in your webcam or turn it on off. That normally fixes the issue. Yeah, that normally fixes the issue. It's just Discord's crap, man. You're right. Zoom is way better.
Okay, I did it. Let me turn it on now.
There we go. Lovely.
Good. I would love to still zoom in a little bit by using Logitech. Yeah, because I have the best settings on Logitech, and there's an option here to use it. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay. So hopefully we got it right this time. Okay. Zoomed in a little bit.
I got you.
All right. All right. Let's start then.
Let's do it.
See, the sims are here. Okay. Are you gonna do some intro for YouTube?
I don't think we need to at this point. It's basically just a review of my 5K MTT, day 2 of the 5K high roller on coin. We are gonna just go through some of the hands. There's been some very interesting hands that me and Stoyan have really looked at. Stoyan's run a bunch of sims, and he's just going to go into more detail about some of the ICM mistakes and maybe some things that I did good and did bad or whatever.
So it's quite an interesting hand history. I'll tell you that. A lot of fun spots, good players. Bobby took some aggressive lines. He made some interesting folds as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
So I have all the hands marked right here. We're just gonna go through the more interesting hands. So let's see what's up here. First of all, this is day 2 of the 5K. 26 left, right?
Yep.
26 left. Deck is second stack. Flawless victory. Another high roller. Chip leading it. Bobby is 5th with 46 big blinds. So a bunch of shorties here. Let's see. We're owing the money, by the way.
Yeah, I found out who Samarilla was, by the way.
Who?
Samarilla. You see Samarilla there? 29th,
Yeah.
29 VPIP.
Yeah. Who's that?
It is Cavalito.
Cavalito? Oh,
Yeah.
the Brazilian.
Yeah.
Alexandre Mantovani.
Mantovani. Yeah.
And I was only 17 is Barack Wisbrod.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Oh, and I found out who Prince of Are You Gay is as well. That is
Who's that?
Eric Janowski, the American guy.
Oh, that's Eric Janowski. I was actually reviewing a final table on stream last week or another stream, and he was featured there on the 10K final table as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He is pretty good. We named him the short stack king.
Oh, yeah.
Because he made all the right decisions below 12 big blinds. He just made like 5 out of 5 correct marginal opens.
Yeah, I reviewed his heads up that he had with Matt Blagg recently. The live heads up we went through some of the hands that he had, the key hands. Really cool.
Yeah. It was really good. I think he studies a lot of ICM by the way he plays and how fast he was making some of the tough decisions. I'm fairly sure he's
very good.
He has a lot of hours under his belt in the lab in HRC and probably the Wizard. So we're 24 left already. Should we just jump to the first hand?
Yeah, you drive.
First more interesting hand.
Yeah,
or do you just want to go hand by hand?
No, I mean, like, you can just like skip through, just use the right key and just move like 10 seconds forward or whatever through the hands. Like this was
okay,
close.
But you want to go hand by hand, right?
I mean, it's up to you. You can just like skip through, just like go through with the right key, so you skip 10 seconds every time. Yeah, it's probably the best way of doing
that
it.
King 10 is pretty close indeed. I mean,
I'd open
buttons.
King Jack. I'd open King Jack and call off Dananoko, but like I think King 10 is too thin.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere around break even, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so you can just, yeah, that's it, speed through. That's perfect.
Blind v blind, ready to go with that.
Yeah,
Let's
I mean,
see.
like, once he limps, like, I think we just have multiple options here. Can just go, like, 3.5x and can just rip as well.
I think ripping with that combo is better.
I agree.
You want to go 3.5 with better hands.
Yeah.
A7 off benefits a lot from just jamming. Chop.
Yeah, we take
Chop it up.
Chop's good. I love
Take
my
it.
hand is like a very good reg as well.
Who's that?
I don't know who it is, but he's pretty decent.
I love my hand.
Yeah, and Pudgy Penguin as well. These are all like top players as far as I know. Couldn't find out who everyone is, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Easy defend and check fold on the flop. Nothing to see here. Okay. Samurilla opens. Who was Samurilla once again?
Cavalito.
Cavalito, okay. Right.
I should probably open up YouTube.
And 4.
Should probably open up YouTube.
Okay. Now we're getting close to the first interesting hand. Apart from the king 10, that was pretty close. And actually, that's it. The ace and off. You decide to go for a 3-bet here. What's your idea? Are you gonna 3-bet fold? 18 left.
3-bet fold here, I think seems best. Like ace jack off. I think ace jack off. I'd probably 3-bet fold as well. Ace queen off, 3-bet call. I think ace 10 off is probably a good one to do it with. Like actually, ace jack off, I might be able to flat, but it gets dicey. I don't want to flat ace 10 off here. I think 3-bet's just going to be the play and just fold to 4-bet.
Yeah, let's check it out. So hijack opens. Not too wide, blocker heavy range. We see ace 5 off getting in there for almost 50%, while 9-8 suited, 8-7 suited are not in range, in opening range. And that's because at this point with 20 big blind stack and the stacks behind, we don't need so much playability because we don't expect to play that much post flop. It's mostly gonna be 3-bets and 3-bet shoves. So let's see button strategy. So I solved for 4.5 big blinds and 5 big blinds so we can figure out the best sizing. And actually, you got it right. The ace jack off is one of the best candidates for flatting alongside the ace 9 suited through ace jack suited, these king 10, king jack suited, queen jack suited type of hands, and some mid-low pocket pairs that are not worth 3-bet calling. Some aces are flatting too. How do I explain that? Well, when we look at his range, let's say he's gonna open ace 5 off, ace 8 off, ace 9 off, ace 10 off. And when we 3-bet ace jack off, he's not gonna fold any better, even one better hand, right? He's gonna continue with ace queen and ace king always, but he's gonna fold ace 8, ace 9, ace 10. So that's why we see the solver flatting these hands here, trying to keep some dominated hands in his range. While if we 3-bet ace 10 off, or if we 3-bet ace 6 suited, ace 7, ace 8 suited, we're gonna accomplish a lot more by folding out better hands. The sizing here needs to be small because of the ICM pressure. So if we look at the risk premium here, that's going to be what we're playing. Button versus hijack. So hijack versus button 8.4%. Not too high, but still adding some fold equity on top. And if we're going for 2.5x in chip EV, it makes some sense to size down since we're the bigger stack. And the pressure is on the hijack. The pressure is on our opponent. So usually the solver going smaller here. You decide to go bigger. Your hand doesn't really want to get flatted. So I I don't mind doing it with that hand. If we're gonna have two sizes, I definitely think ace-10 off goes in the big one.
Mm-hmm. I think I like ace-10 off as a 3-bet fold for this size. I think we're going to get a bunch of just folds anyway in general. Like his king 10s, his his king 9s and stuff like that. The queen jacks, they probably can't call either, you know. And like his king jack off is going to be probably a bit indifferent here, probably not really wanting to call. And then yeah, when he jams, it's just easy fold.
Very, very easy fold. Nothing we can do really.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely a good combo that you chose here for the 3-bet fold. Now king jack suited, another interesting hand. We're definitely gonna open here. I'd love to see you size up a little bit because of the big blind.
Yeah, I should open to like 2.3. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Did something did something that Stoyan liked. That's good.
BJP in the zone.
What would you say is the optimal size for here, in your opinion, to size up on?
So in cheap PV, it's going to be bigger, probably 2.7, 2.5, 2.7. With 18 left, 2.3, maximum 2.5, because again, that risk premium is adding fold equity on our bets, right? So we size down a little bit from cheap PV, but at least 2.2, 2.3, maximum 2.5. In that scenario.
Your stock approach would be ICM like 2.3, Chippy V 2.7, yeah?
I like that. So let me open the wizard on the side, just in case we want to check some hands post-flop, because with GTO Wizard, we can actually solve very, very quickly post-flop spots as well. And I think that's going to be also good for our audience who are not aware of this feature. Because so far so far we needed to just use HRC for the preflop sim and then take that into Pio Solver and then run forever. It was just taking too long, and now we have a simpler option. Octopi coming up with new features as well. So you decide to check this flop 7-6-4. Have a flush draw, 2 overs. What's your thought process here?
Yeah, I mean, he has all the 4s, the 6s, the 7s, pocket 8s that aren't going to fold to a flop bet. I have 2 overs that are likely clean, and I have a king high flush draw. I don't really want to bet and get put in a spot where he raises and we're like 22 effective, and I just have to run it against a hand that I'm probably not going to be doing super well against.
Sure, I mean, you always have the equity. Even against a set, you have some equity. But I get your point. Against an ace-high flush draw, you're not very happy. I mean, you're not happy at all. Again, I mean, flipping with 18 left is not what we're looking for either, right?
It is rather
so. Let's look at
yes.
Yeah, let's look at the preflop ranges. I doubt that he has so many low pocket pairs because of the big blind and because of your open size.
I think he's supposed to jam like his 4s, 5s, and 6s and stuff like that.
Pre-flop?
Yeah.
I'd rather fold the lower ones probably, but let me see.
Let's see what
if we have the king jack. Yeah, we have. Yeah, I think they must be folding, but let's see. Because you open 2.3 as well, which kind of lowers the incentive for flatting. So that's your opening range here. Again, a lot of blockers because the big blind, ace-3 offs in there. We're not calling everything against the big blind, not at all. Sure. We're going to have a lot of raise folds, obviously raise fold and like king 10 off, ace 5 off and all of that against the big blind. Now let's look. Yeah, button doesn't flat almost ever because of the bigger sizing and because of the short big blind. I mean, flatting here is really just dead money for the most part. Like if you flat jack 10 suited, that's just dead money. So the solver doesn't like to do that, right? So 4s are folding, 5s are folding, 6s are indifferent between flatting and folding, and I mean jamming's pretty close to 7s split between flatten and jamming. Eights are also very similar EV. So we can say he might have some sixes, sevens, eights here, because I think people are flatting more than the solver. Probably doesn't have fours and fives too much. I mean, it depends on who he is also, right?
Don't know anything about him. Don't know anything about him at all.
Yeah. So very tight flattened range. He does have some ace-9, ace-10, ace-jack suited, probably some suited broadways as well, that he doesn't feel like jamming, maybe like queen 10 suited, jack 10 suited, king 10 suited, because queen jack, king jack feels strong enough to jam button versus cutoff. Yeah, we're not 11 left, we're 18 left. Still half the field needs to bust to make it to the final table. So I'm thinking whether we can just try to make him fold his ace-10. I'm not entirely sure. It really depends on what kind of player he is and his preflop range, but I don't mind checking as well. Let's see.
I think he bets big, you know. I think he bets like either half pot
He
or
bets
like
half.
3.5.
Yeah, I think he bet half here.
Yeah, I mean half's still reasonably big, to be fair. On this board, like 4, 6, 7 two-tone.
I agree.
It's not like this is just not an ideal spot really for king jack suited. And like I think in this spot you have two options, right? Like you call and you see how they react on turn based on what the turn is. Like if there's a card that interacts with like the 4, 6, 7, it's probably going to be better for them. And then like obviously a heart is very good for us. Over cards like queens, jacks, tens, kings, obviously good for us. But I think the problem here is once we call, pot's already going to be like 14. Pot's going to be 14 bigs, right? And SPR is like 1.5. It just gets very dicey on certain turn cards. So I think we just have to call anyway. But I still think we should play this draw specifically very passively, having two overs as well.
Yeah, so the benefit of checking here is that you see his action, right? And that gives you information. And I think by going half pot here, people are generally going to be unbalanced in a way that they can easily find the value. Like they can easily find, let's say, half pot with pocket eights, half pot with maybe ace 10 hearts. I don't know, try to make you fold ace queen with a heart or something. I don't know if he's going to be bluffing with half pot here with, let's say, queen jack of clubs, or he's just going to stop for a small sizing. So usually these half pot bets with 20 big blinds are strong. On the other side, he doesn't need to bet pocket sevens with half pot or pocket sixes because the SPR is very, very low. So the worst scenario is ace 10 of hearts. Maybe ace 9 of hearts. Ace jack hearts were blocking. Ace queen should be 3-bet calling preflop. Ace 8 hearts probably 3-bet folding preflop. Might be flatting sometimes depending on the player. But against pocket eights, we're actually okay. We're not too bad against pocket eights. Yeah, so yeah, against the half pot, you decide to call, which I don't mind. Again, with my read, I mean, he might also be flatting aces preflop with these stacks, right?
But he also does have like he can also have ace queen of hearts when Samarilla's actually got a short stack. I think that he can definitely flat that because if Samarilla jams and then I rejam, he can basically reevaluate the situation from there. So I don't want to eliminate too many combos there. Like even like ace 3 of hearts, ace 5 of hearts and stuff. I think he just folds those.
He should be folding preflop, but I always like to think that they have like some frequency of, let's say, if the solver is never flatting ace 3, maybe I'll just give it like 5% he has it.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're playing against a real human, you're not playing against a solver. And now we have a very easy fold.
Yeah.
against the jam. So your read was right that the half pot is strong, because otherwise he wouldn't have jammed.
Yeah. I think you just obviously can't fold though, flop. Like
No, never.
Not possible.
Not possible. The fold button is broken on the flop.
The fold button was removed.
It's not working. Yeah, it's not working. We have this spot now. Your blind versus blind, put your limps. Thoughts?
Yeah. King deuce off to king 5 off. I think I just want to raise. I don't really want to check this one back. I want him to like limp fold his queen 5s. I want him to like limp fold. He's not going to limp fold any ace-x basically. But like all the hands that have some equity, like even when he like limps like 8-5 off, 8-6 off and stuff, like I want to just get those hands to fold. I'd rather just take the pot down pre-flop and just, you know, not have to worry about a blind versus blind spot with like 18 left, because they're going to be very difficult to play. Even playing in position, we'd rather just, I would think we'd just rather raise and just, you know, raise fold, or just, yeah. But it's basically it. We're just raise folding here. King deuce off is just so shit. We're just using the power of the king. That's basically what we're doing.
Yeah, the power of the deuce as well, I would say, because look, he's not limping. He shouldn't be limping. Okay, that's small blind. He shouldn't be limping so many deuce X on the small blind, which means that we're not blocking his limp folding range. And that's why I think the deuce is a pretty good one to ISO with. And obviously, I mean, the king is the card that we kind of rely on for the blocker effect.
Yeah.
The key card, but the deuce is usually used for bluffing here. So let's see. You can see a lot of deuce X is actually raising non-all-in. I put 3.5x here as a standard sizing. I think most people are going to use that. And we see king deuce actually having similar EV between jamming and raising non-all-in. Yeah, I don't mind either. Against a soft field, I would probably never jam king deuce off. But ace deuce off, you see, is kind of a magic hand for the same reason, because of the deuce.
Yeah.
You don't see the 3x jamming, almost like the 5x never jamming, the 4x never jamming.
Yeah,
but the deuce X is sometimes jamming, even like 9 deuce off, 10 deuce off, kind of, you know, in there for a little bit. But yeah, usually I'm going to go for a non-all-in raise. And why? Because when we have similar EV here, even against good players, I think in position we'll be able to realize more. And it's just generally easier to play in position here in that spot. Wide ranges. So yeah, I think will generate more EV in reality. And that the situation here in the solver says equal EV, but in reality, I think the non-all-in raise is gonna be the better option.
I mean, like, yeah, like obviously field's tough, but like we just want to raise here. I went 3.8. I gave him a little bit more. I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So let's see.
There's also some ICM in the fact that there's a pay jump at 16 as well. Half a buy-in pay jump.
Yeah.
I know there was 18 left still.
For limp call in.
Yeah, I think limp call and then check seems perfectly fine.
Yes, totally.
I think he uses. Did he use big or small size in here? Okay, checks, yeah. And then turn, I think we just have quite a nice, easy, like third or like 20% lead. He's going to check back his 10x anyway. His king x mainly bets.
I think his king x actually checks quite a lot.
Can do on this
the
board
flop
texture,
because of the ICM. Yeah, because it's very connected. So he wants to use a big size on the flop and starts betting king 9 plus probably, and checks back like king deuce type of bluffs on the flop. So still a lot of king x in his range. Out of these bluffs, king deuce off to king 5 off whatever
I
he's
think a lot
using.
of
He's
those.
probably
I
check.
think a lot of those probably raised pre though versus limp. So like for me, I think his king
He
X is
raised.
like.
He raised pre.
Oh yeah, sorry, he did raise pre. Yeah. You are correct.
Yeah. But he definitely doesn't have king 6, king 7, king 8, king 9 at a high frequency, because
Yeah.
those just don't. They're not bluffs pre-flop. They're not raising for value. Neither they're raising as a bluff. So he probably just checks back. So king deuce to king 5. And of course, a lot of 10x are gonna check back the flop. Pocket jacks as well. Pocket 9s, pocket 8s, checking back the flop. Yeah, so we're betting. I'm wondering what's the optimal sizing here on the turn.
Maybe we could even go bigger, honestly. We want to have.
Yeah, that was the question I was
Yeah.
going to ask in the ISM. Like, are you going to polarize here, and like, how do you think about like MDA at the high stakes pool, like in terms of response to big bet? If you start slamming in bigger bets, even geometric.
So, how does our range look like, and what hands we want to bet? Like, we definitely don't want to bet a 10. Once the queen pairs on the turn, I would say we don't want to bet a king for a big size, right? Because he'll have some queen X checking back the flop. He'll have some king X as well. So the king X, like king 4 suited, is still a bluff catcher in our range. So I'm thinking we have some Jack X suited here for a bluff like Jack 7 of clubs. We have some flush draws as well. And if we're betting Queen X or better, we probably have to go big on the turn. And against that, I think high stakes pool is going to defend fairly close to the solver. Like they're not going to overfold because you're playing a 5K day 2 and you know everyone's elite here pretty much. So they're not going to fold a 10 on the turn. I don't think so, because they have to defend their MDF. And the big size really puts pressure on pocket 8s, I would say. And 10x would be indifferent. Maybe 10x with a bad blocker would not feel great about it. But yeah, generally I think all the king x is gonna call, and mostly 10x is gonna call the turn and fold the river in his shoes.
Would you, given our king strength, would you ever, and the suits, would you ever consider double checking this?
Checking this?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I think what you were saying, right, which I agree with, is you really want to polarize on the turn, right? And I guess we can, split about the sizing, but I agree with you to go big. But he's going to have some queen X that he does check back on the flop. That's going to outkick us, and it feels like this is a really nice hand to double check and let him start attacking. I don't know what you think about that.
Yeah, I'd rather do that with a king, because I think if we check here, we'll miss some value from a king that's definitely going to check back the turn, or a 10 that's going to call the turn. So maybe we can develop like a small size with that hand, try to induce him. Checking, I'm not sure if that's a thing, but against an aggressive player, I quite like your idea. If I know he's aggressive and he's out of line, I'll definitely consider checking to let him blast off.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So this is how betting volume works, right? If you're playing against somebody that's going to put a lot of bets, you want to check your strong hands more often, because he's going to put the money in for you. Okay.
Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable, to be fair. The more aggressive the opponent, the more you want to let them bet.
Yeah.
Our hand does actually require some protection from certain cards, but obviously not like a massive amount of protection. I actually met this guy, Coca Nieto, in Vegas this year.
Nieto is one of the best paddle players in the world. That's his real name. But this guy is, I don't know, just a paddle enthusiast probably, and he's a really good poker player, right?
Yeah.
Okay. His name is not Coca Nieto, right?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought. All right. 9-8 off, pretty good fold here. So short, equal stacks, actually very easy fold.
I think I'd probably start opening like Jack 9 if I did open. Probably Jack 10, but Jack 9 would be
Jack 10.
okay-ish.
Yeah, Jack 10, Jack 9 against weaker opposition, I would say.
Yeah,
Jack
like
10
full,
as a
full
default.
freak. I would say full freak is kind of weaker-ish player anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, standard fold here. We have to be fairly tight against the blinds. They're big stacks and we have an equal stack on the button, so no reason to be aggressive at all. 15 left. Risk premium is getting higher. A deuce, easy fold. And now we have a decision here with ace king against the button open. What is your thought process here? Obviously, we're never flatting, but are we going for a non-all-in? Are we going for
free bet
all of it?
free bet non all-in, I think is actually way better. I think I jam in game, but I think free bet non all-in is way better. Like, just make it like
what's the reason for that?
4.5 bigs, because he can still jam. Like Pudgy can still jam with like his ace 10s and stuff like that here, and like he might have like ace 5 suited and stuff that wants to jam. He can have like ace jack off that wants to jam. He's gonna have like some queen jack suited that might want to jam.
Let's check. Today's meta is still a lot about click. I mean, he might also click fold, right? He might also fold bet fold sometimes. Even if you go like 6.5 or 7 big blind, he still has a click. And in today's meta, I think inducing a bit wider is pretty good because especially in high stakes, people are clicking it a lot, 4-bet shoving a lot, just playing very, very aggressively these spots. So let's see. Button's gonna open 38% here, obviously tighter than GPV. And let's see, what are we doing on the small blind? Yeah, the solver agrees with you. Ace King off is a better 3-bet call than 3-bet jam because it's just strong enough. And with my argument about today's meta, I think it becomes even more of a 3-bet call. Ace Jack suited, probably a 3-bet calling as well.
Yeah.
And then we see how polar our 3-betting range here is. You know, bluffs are coming from just blocker unblocker hands, so ace 5 ace 4 rather than ace 8 and ace 9, because ace 8 ace 9 are gonna block some raise folds. They're blocking like weak hands, jack 8 and 9.
I think you want big small, really, like the king 6 and the king 4s and stuff like that, or whatever, king 6 king 7s.
Yeah, the suited ones, and then some off suited aces, some low suited aces as well, and some blocker hands as well here and there, but nothing really. No bluffs coming here from the 9x 8x. That's quite important. Let's see what happens against that. So button is supposed to flat like pocket aces, and then the majority of his playable hands, even some suited connectors, some pocket pairs. And then the more he likes to fall bet jam, let's say suited aces and hands like queen 10 suited, queen jack suited, king queen, that is or you know, hands like king 10 suited, especially king jack suited, king 9 suited, because we're dominating these hands. I forgot we have ace king, not ace queen. So the more he 4-bet shoves with dominated hands, the more we want to induce with our hand. And against a passive player who is never gonna 4-bet jam, never gonna 4-bet click, probably just we just want to shove it in and try to get a call from ace jack. Yeah, but against a high stakes opponent, even if I don't know who he is, I'd go for the non-all-in. See, you go for all of it. I don't blame you. I mean, EV is pretty similar. So by no means this is a mistake. We're just talking about the very, very thin difference in EVs. And right next hand, we have quite an interesting spot here. We open the button and big blind 3-bets.
This is very interesting, actually. I just call queen 10 suited or jam queen 10 suited, but like queen 9 suited, queen 8 suited and stuff like that. I mean, how well can it perform, really? That's my question.
Yeah, it's also it comes down to how much do we want to flat in general,
Yeah, not a
right?
lot.
Like, is this a spot that we want to flat a lot? Like, definitely not.
I'm more
We're
interested in jamming here, to be honest with you, but not like Queen 9 suited, like Queen 10 suited, Queen Jack suited, King Jack suited, King 10 suited. I would take those. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah, on the other side, big blind's range is quite polar, so we can also think about that, which means we are still allowed to flat this amount against the polar range, right? Against small blind, we wouldn't be flatting as much if, let's say, he has 30 big blinds. But against big blind, we're going to be flatting more, since his bluffs are going to come from hands like King Deuce off and Ace 3 off and all of that.
Yeah, like his
And
King 5s, his Ace 6s, Ace 5s, and
mm,
stuff like that probably want a 3-bet. And I think like the 9's actually
mm,
doing pretty well for us. Obviously being very connected to the Queen, but it's more about the fact that his 3-bets probably don't come from much Queen X or 9X. So our hand is actually probably very live, but at the same time, it's going to be a very awkward spot when we call and we're like 20 effective, right? And SPR is going to be like very, very low.
yeah. Yeah, let's check it out. So button range again around the 37, 38% ballpark. We can't be too wide here. Big blind going for a 3-bet exactly with these combos that we were thinking about.
Yeah.
These blocker and blocker, like very, very polar range. King deuce to king 6 off, queen 4, queen 6 off, ace deuce to ace 6 off. Again, the deuce X and the 3X are in there as bluff, as 3-bet shows. You can see deuces, threes, ace deuce suited, ace deuce off, ace 3 off. Again, because they're not blocking raise folds at all. But what is important here is how are we going to respond, right? Let's see. For us, so there is a click, which makes a lot of sense against a polar range, because when you click it, you are making all bluffs just fold, right? I mean, queen 9 suited obviously never a click, but I'm just saying it makes sense to have, for us to have some clicks. Ace is a pure call, just dropping. And then we have a lot of flats. I mean, all of these like Broadways lean towards flatting because of the polar range and because they're actually dominating all the bluffs pretty much. So
I think
Queen
one
9 is
important point to make.
indifferent.
I was going to say quickly, just one of the important points to make, I guess, was Bobby said that his evaluation was that the big blind was a weaker player, right? So at the margin, I guess a big spot for them. Maybe they don't find all those bluffs in equilibrium.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so that becomes a clear fold then.
Yeah.
If that's the assumption, that becomes a clear fold.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
we
think
can rerun the same without the bluffs, and it's gonna
Sure,
it's just
yeah.
clear that
It
we're
won't
gonna
even
shave
be in
off
there.
this.
Yeah, it won't even be in there at all. I mean, the fact that it's
Yeah,
only 45% anyway makes me feel pretty good about my fold.
yeah, it's 0 EV definitely. We
Yeah.
can say 0 EV. All these frequencies here are gonna be 0 EV. All right, so good fold here, especially the point about him being a weaker player and not finding the bluffs. I think that's quite often the case when we're playing against weaker players, playing for a lot of money here, like 300k on top.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ace 10 suited. We open full freak flats the button, and we're 3-way here. Jack 7.
I think
How are we going about this?
for me, I would check this a lot actually. Full freak's gonna have some Jack X. Obviously, you can have some like Queen Jack suited, Jack 10 suited, even some Ace Jack suited that he wants to flat and play in position. Also, like they're still going to have some under pairs as well. I think full freak's going to have like 5s and 6s and stuff. Pudgy's just obviously completely open to having anything because he's big blind. I wouldn't want to bet and get raised on this board. I mean, we do have backdoor flush draw, and we do have like the overcard to the jack, and the 10 does become the new overcard to the 7. So I think that check-in here is just going to be pretty nice, to be honest.
Yeah, I lean towards checking our whole range. Totally on board with you. Full free can have a lot of hands containing a jack, ace jack off as well. Doesn't have hands that are auto folds here. It doesn't have like ace 8 off, doesn't have 6-5 suited. So his range is very, very condensed around the jack. Some pocket pairs as well. So yeah, I think we can just check our whole range, especially three ways. Okay, he's betting here. And it's on us. This seems like it's enticing. I mean, when I see the back doors and the small sizing, I'm thinking, yeah, he does have a jack, but check raising here looks very, very, very strong. And we still need to have some bluffs. What is a better bluff than that? I mean, we can certainly throw some frequency in there. I'm not saying it's a mandatory bluff, but it just seems like it's a possibility. What do you think?
I really like calling, to be honest with you here. I think the 10 is going to be very good for us. You know, there's going to be certain turn cards that come where we can start betting as well. It's going to have some jack X frequency, of course, but like goes for very small sizing. Pudgy's going to be auto folding quite a lot. I think we can just call, to be honest. And I think once we call here as well, we don't face too much aggression on the turn. Once we call here, this is going to be like a lot of the turn cards aren't going to directly shift the nuts, right? But the nuts in this situation, like being jacks or sevens or something like that, is probably quite unlikely. But they are, you know, they can still have a jack, obviously. But once we call, we can still have a jack as well. So they have to think about that.
Yeah, of course, we can have jack, we can have pocket aces as well, pocket kings. The thing is that I prefer having ace king and ace queen to check call here because I'm gonna keep his ace 10, and if an ace comes, I'm gonna cooler him. While when I have a lower one, like ace 10 with all the backdoors, I mean, I think we can still call, yeah, sure. But against a very aggressive guy that is flatting white preflop, that'll be another, you know, reason for me to check raise with some frequency. I'm not saying that's the thing, right? The solver is not gonna do it like all the time, obviously. But yeah, it's definitely okay to check call as well. What else? He might continue barreling the turn. Because we still have pocket eights, pocket nines, ace king, ace queen that are gonna have hard time continuing on the turn. Let's see. In the meanwhile, I'll open the chat.
I think the other point is we just don't have a lot of other stuff to bluff with, right? If you think about like how our range is going to be constructed, we don't actually have a lot built around the Jack 7 because of the ICM. So we're gonna have to pull for some pretty unintuitive regions like an ace 10, king 10, something like that. I'd have thought.
Ace 10 probably the better bluff than king 10 because we still block ace jack off, which is the only jack X offsuit he can have.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in a weaker player term sense because like he might make flats here at 30 big blinds covering that we wouldn't expect a high stakes pro to make.
What are we thinking here on the river? I mean, we're the absolute bottom of our range, I would say. And we might even turn this into a bluff. I'm not sure how bad. What's your note on Full Freak? How bad he is?
I don't think he's bad. He just he just didn't play this high. I believe he's satellite at the tournament and like he plays lower ABI. That's all I know. I don't know if that's the case now. I haven't checked.
Okay.
Might be wrong now. Let's have a look.
Seems Trot, can you check if my camera has a lot of delay on the stream, please?
Yeah, it's lagging a bit, mate, unfortunately, but
it's lagging.
It's not too bad. Like, you know, I'd say it's okay, but there's a little lag on it, yeah.
Okay.
Only on your camera though, not the stream itself. Not the stream itself. Only on your.
Yeah, just the camera.
So
yeah, just the webcam.
Full
It's
Freak,
fine now.
Full Freak has like 120 ABI now.
Yeah.
Winning 80k. It looks like he's. I mean, he just had like a continuous run of like 2k caches, 3k caches, and he only had the one big cache for 115k. Was down before that. So I mean, like, you know, he's playing. You know, he's playing some 109s and he's playing a couple of 530s and stuff like that, 120s and 55s. So yeah, like he's not weak, but I mean for this field specifically, doesn't really fit into the category of, you know, elite player, basically.
Well, I mean, if you strip out the top of his buying range, 0 to 530, he's playing $100 ABI and up 120k. So he's spending a lot of money on the top of his buying range, which he hasn't won yet. So I'd say he's crushing him personally, but.
Well, he's only one score. His only one score was like 112k, and it came from this tournament, right? So, and he was down before that, and he's just been. I don't know. I don't want to go into it too deeply.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, 120 ABI playing a 5k, that's definitely not a regular buy-in for him.
Yeah.
But we can't really judge about how aggressive and passive he is. So solely on his buy-in.
Yeah.
ABI. So now on the river, I think we are actually the stone cold bottom of our range here. We don't have a worse hand very often at all. So I definitely want to turn this into a bluff. We can have what are we value betting here on the river? So pocket nines, pocket tens can block bet. Jack X plus wants to go big. Pocket, yeah, all the pocket pairs want to bet above so nines and better. So what are we doing? I mean, what bluffs do we have? I'm going for a small size here because it seems like we have very, very few bluffs, natural bluffs, right? And we might need to start turning ace queen and ace king into a bluff as well. Because if we check call the flop, we definitely don't have king 10, 15 left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanna turn this into a bluff and bet the same size I'll bet with pocket nines, so that's probably around third pot, and try to make I mean, whatever folds here is good for us. He will probably have hard time calling even with like pocket fours, pocket sixes. If he flats that pre-flop, we'll fold out a chop. We might fold out ace queen. Does he have a 7? Probably not too much, yeah, unless he's
like
a whale flatting
or something, like, and just flatting way too wide pre.
Yeah. Probably we should give him some frequency, not knowing who he is. 7-8 probably doesn't fold the river though. So yeah, we're trying to make pocket sixes fold. So we don't really need to go big, I don't think. Just go third pot. That would be my choice here, based on how our range looks like. I mean, even third pot looks like looks strong. Like who is bluffing here? Okay, he mucks. Let's go.
I think our hand is a really nice candidate to bluff river.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's it's close. It's just a close spot, right?
Again, I would like to check ace king more than ace 10 on the river for the reason that it has more showdown value.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Jack 3, I think we're playing post flop here.
Chow Ren on YouTube said Full Freak was losing over a small sample before the score, so difficult to define his level. My guess he is some sort of mid-stakes regs in terms of buy-in. So.
We check back Jack 3 suited. The next spot, blind v blind. Check back the flop. Do you think about betting the flop at all
No.
here?
Not really. I got backdoor clubs. Got backdoor straight draw that's not really going to be that good. I can only hit one that's going to be okay. But regardless, the seven's going to be the straight. The jack, if I hit the jack, it's probably going to be okay as well. I just think like in this spot, blind versus blind, we can just check. And then on this turn, it gets dicey.
I like betting the flop, to be honest.
Our
The
hand
3x
doesn't
does
have
not
that much
interact with...
playability, right? That's the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. I would much rather check back like Jack 10 on the flop to not get check raised. If he check raises me and I have Jack 3, I'm just folding, right? But
Sure.
there are some turns I can keep barreling, like the 4, the 7, the 9, a Jack, obviously a club. So I kind of like this combo to start betting the flop. The turn now a mandatory bet, I would say. Okay, he bets though. What is BJP gonna do? I mean, you just snap call here with the intention of bluffing the river, right?
Good read.
That's why you deserve this spot. Now we have to go big. I mean, we're not betting an 8 on the river. We're probably not. I mean, we can actually bet 2 pair, but mostly repping the 7. We can even go like 3.3, 3.5. He never has a 7, so if you have 2 pair, you're actually, they're worth a bet. If you have, let's say, 8-4, 8-4 is definitely worth a value bet on the river. So maybe 3.5, I would say.
Yeah,
but yeah, definitely on the big side. On the big side.
Big size for sure. I don't think you need to overbet in that spot. You can just go like B75 or like pot, basically, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
Skitler says I don't know about him never having a 7. I mean, he never checks a 7 on the river, as far as I'm concerned.
Probably not. I would almost always exclude that. Yeah.
Easy fold.
So what he can do here on the river with a 7, if he wants to be tricky, he can block bet.
One big, bet one big blind.
Yeah, instead of checking, just bet one big blind and induce a raise from a hand like a 5x or a hand like, say, king 9 that check the flop, call the turn. Yeah, or something like jack 3 that BJP is floating here.
Yeah, I like one big blind from Pudgy, and I'm gonna make it like 6.5 bigs or 5.5 bigs, like quite a lot. So if he has a 7, fair play.
Kittler, you're right in sense that on the river he might have some 7x in his checking range because that's how the solver works, like balancing all the options, right? If you have no strong hands in your checking range, once you check, big blind can do whatever he wants. But in practice, in reality, I just don't think that's happening way too much. Maybe in a 5K, like more than in 100 buy-in, but still very, very rarely. I would say, yeah, a smart player would go for one big blind more than check on the river, because one big blind can actually make a lot of money by inducing bluffs from 5x, 4x, king high, ace high. And checking, I mean, 5x will check back, 4x will check back. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, he folds, and then we are on to the next one.
Yes, I would bet 2 pair with this sizing, but like good 2 pair, like the 8-4, the 8-4, like the 10-8. I would definitely bet. Like even if I have like 10-6, like any 10 2 pair, I bet here, and I always use big sizing because he can never fold 5-6.
8-4 plus, basically, yeah.
Yeah. Easy
totally
pass
agree
versus
with that.
2.2.
Yeah, small blind, we don't want to flat here at all.
Big blind only a 10 BB effective as well, so just get out. Skip.
That's the other table.
Yeah, I
We're
think
at
it's
3 tables now.
it's very important to have both tables up in these situations.
Yeah.
This one's just a clear jam. I wouldn't do anything else here. It's a clear jam. Like Pudgy can still call off. But he's raised folding such a high frequency anyway. I don't think I want to 3-bet induce this one because we get super low SPR and the flop can just get quite messy. And like giving him a good price to call is not really something we want. Like I'm just happy to just 3-bet jam this one.
Yeah, I agree. It's not strong enough for an induce. Maybe we want to start ace queen suited and ace jack suited.
Yeah.
Ace jack suited if he is aggressive and we think he's gonna like fall by jam some ace 5 off, for instance. Or like queen x suited, jack x suited, probably not. But yeah, some ace x mostly. So yeah, ace jack suited, ace queen suited, somewhere there, depending on the player, and ace 10 seems like a jam, yeah. Right, ace 3 suited, what are we doing here? 15 left, we covered them. Big blind's almost the same stack. Small blind's very short. What do we do here?
I had a lot of conversations about this. And
About this hand?
Yeah, I think it's a pure open, but I actually just chose to fold. And a lot of people were kind of bashing me about it, but I don't think it's as bad as people think. Like the actual EV of this hand is probably just not actually going to be that much. Like, sure, obviously you raise full freak calls and then you see bet flop and you win. Yeah, great. But like you open baby high jams, it's just you just raise folding way too much.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm definitely opening this because if I'm deciding between, let's say, a suited hand with playability and this one, I'll always choose this one. But the main reason is that big blind is not gonna play back too much, right? So I would fold it against the chip leader maybe. If he has like 50, 60, 80 big blinds, I'd probably consider folding. But against this guy, especially that he's a weaker player, I don't mind the raise folding against the small blind. He's not gonna jam like 6-5 suited, right? He's not gonna jam like jack 7 suited. So yeah, I don't mind folding if I have to.
Yeah, like Skitler says, I think you can raise call versus baby, but I think that's a massive blunder. It's like a quarter of my stack.
Let's see.
That was going to be my question, Stan. Is like I would have personally raised folded here, but I guess to the point that Bobby's making now, it's really awkward. What would your guess be at like, or how would you navigate these in high stakes against very aggressive players for the community, where maybe we're not playing 5Ks, but playing smaller in aggressive games where perhaps like you've got an awkward stack depth here. What point would you call off? Like 6 bigs or something like that? 5 bigs? What would be the point that you raise called the ace 3 in a painful spot like this?
15 left, ISM pressure is high. It's not like it is 9 left or 10 left, but still much higher than 25 left or 20 left because we're getting closer to the final table. I think around maybe 7 big blinds I'm calling because 7 big blinds he can jam. Like we're committed, right? And he's gonna jam king jack suited, for instance, king queen.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we have to call. I mean, this is 9 big blinds though, 8.85. So this seems like a fold to me. We can check it out right now.
It looks like 8 bigs, but it's actually 9. That's the difference.
Yes,
that does make a substantial difference though. And people are like, oh,
so,
if you call for 8 bigs, you call for 9 bigs. It doesn't really work like that.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, especially in ICM. You have to be very precise. This is where all the money is, and we're gonna see that. So ace deuce off, ace 3 off, they're making negligible, like they're just basically break even as a raise, and then ace 3 suited makes a lot, 0.16. Well, let's see what small blind does. So yeah, small blind jams king 10 suited, king jack off. So yeah, ace 3 suited we probably have to call 8 big blinds even. Let's see. Now 8.8, maybe we even call that because of the pot odds. Let's see. Yeah, we actually have to call that.
But we're not
because
happy
of the
about
pot
it.
odds.
That's the
It's
difference.
actually not even close. It's making like $1,300. Like 1,300. I mean, that's nothing because the first place is 30K, but it's still like substantial. You can fold ace 4 off because of your edge, like just edge fold, ace 3 off, ace 4 off. You cannot fold ace just suited, ace 3 suited. It's making too much here. If he is jamming this range. If he's not jamming this range, if he's like not jamming king jack off and queen 10 suited and king 10 suited, then it's gonna be a different story. But at this point, because the pot odds,
yeah, I would say it's probably not jamming that range.
it's getting closer, but we probably still want to call against him. But you know, the thing is, you might think, oh, I'm not gonna open a hand that is folding to a jam. Like I'm gonna open only if I'm calling the jam. But it's the solver doesn't work like that. You can see once you open, you have a lot of hands you're folding. You're folding king 9 off through 10 9 off, this king x suited, queen x suited, jack x suited. So the bottom of your range you're still folding. I mean, you would have hands to fold against 7 big blinds as well. If you open king 9 off, it's not gonna be a call, right? So yeah, we still want to open. And what is the bad thing that can happen? He's gonna jam like 22% of the time. So 80% of the time he's just gonna fold. And we're playing against the big blind, who is a weaker player. We're assuming definitely not the high stakes Russia. So yeah. I'm very happy playing against the big blind here if that happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird spot, man, honestly. I think it's just like quite an important spot for me as well. And like I'm 6 of 15. I don't really want to make any ICM mistakes. It's probably just a bit too tight.
Yeah. What would be worse here is to, let's say, maybe jam too much. Let's say
jam seems like it's not the most optimal move.
Jam is making money, by the way.
Oh,
I'm checking it right now.
Prints for sure. Like, there's no way it doesn't.
It makes, yeah, $250, but raise makes $430. My point is, if you make the mistake of, let's say, jamming, let's say, you know, too much in that spot because you have the biggest stack, that would be way more painful than skipping this spot because you can destroy.
How much do I lose by folding this spot?
I mean, the difference between folding and, so you can see here, the EV is in dollars. I don't like to say it to talk in dollars because, you know, for somebody who plays a lower stakes, you'll say that's a lot of money. But here again, first place is 300K. So 0.06, 0.16 in terms of EV. This is the difference between folding, going all in, and raising non all in. Yeah. So let's say bluffing off post flop and losing like 10 big blinds in a spot that you can just, you know, you can avoid would be way worse than making a small mistake pre-flop.
Yeah, sure.
So people label mistakes and they like beat themselves up for mistakes, and I do that as well. But we have to understand that the amount of money that this mistake costs us is not like it's costing our whole tournament life. So don't be too critical about it.
Yeah, I think like passing up some of these spots sometimes is just like, you know, if you think you have an edge against like your table, then I think it's all right.
Yeah.
Like I would never take this spot as Barak, right? Because like he's got Luckbox on his right, who's like mega fish. Obviously, he's got Flawless on his table, who's tough, and Ponk is like okay-ish, but I just, this is just way too much. I just think your edge is massive here.
Yeah, it depends on what you think your edge is, because in theory, Jack 10 suited is just the best combo to jam, probably because you're folding out hands, because this guy is opening a lot. He's opening 10-9 off, right? And so he's gonna be folding King 10 off, King Jack off, Queen Jack off, Queen 10 off, all the Ace 10 off. So all these hands that dominate us, we're gonna make them fold. And in case he has Ace King or Pocket Eights, we have a lot of equity. So in theory, this jam is GTO approved. In practice, what you're saying, when we have a huge fish here, and then the rest of the table are weaker players, because Barak is like really like top of the world. Flawless elite, victory as well. But I don't know who Koki is, but Flawless is like a top player.
Top, yeah.
Top best of the world, best in the world.
I would say he's probably like probably easily top 20 in the world.
Flawless victory?
Yeah.
If he is who I think he is, he's top 5, and some
yeah,
so some would say he's top 3.
I was saying top 20 to be like, you know, like moderate about the situation, because like he is a fucking super elite, and he does play all of the top Tritons and stuff. But like at the same time, it's kind of like Barak. I just think Barak's edge here is massive. If I think I've got an edge on my table, Barak must think that he's fucking, you know, his table are bowing to him, kind of thing.
Yeah, if he has a whale, and then he's definitely much better than Ponk. I don't know who he is, but you said he's okay. And then Koki, I don't know. But yeah, definitely has this edge here.
Yeah, we're not going to reveal who Flawless is, by the way.
Yeah. And then again, the more aggressive Koki is as a chip leader with opens, the more this becomes a shove. The better the player he is post-flop, aggressive. So let's say Adrian Mateos is opening here on the cutoff, I'm definitely shoving this. Like, I'm not thinking about it. But if a weak passive player is opening, I'm never gonna shove it. So that's how we are deviating from the theory. We know Jack 10 suited is a jam, right? Everybody who studies ICM knows that in that spot, because it just has great properties. But yeah, what Bobby said about the edge of Barak is also a big factor to consider here.
Massive edge, man.
Yeah. 14 left now. Locked. 20k locked. And pay jump. 4.3k pay jump. Here. Flawless on your table, Koki, Ponky. We got a redraw, so 2 tables left. Luck box, you said, is a huge whale. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like he was pretty special, man. Pretty fucking special. You'll see some of the shit. He shows his hands constantly as well. It's brilliant. Even when he's not even in the hand, he shows his hand. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he showed now. Let's see what he did with jacks. Okay, he just raised. He didn't shove. Okay. Jack 5. Nothing to see here. Let's see, yeah. Easy fold. You have to be extremely tight here with that guy.
Honestly, like Queen 10 suit is a fold. Like Queen Jack suit is fucking on the line, and it may be folding as well, honestly.
Queen Jack suited I would like to play here, but Queen 10 suited out fold as well.
Yeah.
Queen Jack, I probably don't have a flattened range here because of the short stack, because the big blind chip leader. Yeah. And Queen Jack suited probably just wants to 3-bet fold. I mean, because it's not a hand that we like to 3-bet fold. It's a great flatting hand, but the thing is, if we start flatting this, and then we start flatting King Jack suited, King Queen suited, Ace Jack suited, Ace 10 suited, we are just dead money. Like, big blind can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. We're piggy in the middle, basically. We're fucked.
Yeah, so that's why I wanna be mostly we wanna avoid flatting, and everything else is everything is either a 3-bet call or a 3-bet fold.
Yeah.
Right, and Queen Jack 3 I think is a good one to play, but again, I'm not thrilled about it by any means. Okay, Koki 3-bets. 3-bets big.
Yeah.
Considering the ICM here, he can go smaller as well.
You can just go like 5 BB, right? Like I would just go smaller.
Yeah, but flop is connected, so it makes some sense that he wants to put pressure on a hand like King 10 of diamonds, for instance.
Yeah, it doesn't want to give all that free equity. Yeah.
Pocket sixes, ace queen off. I mean, he doesn't want to go like 4 big blinds on that texture either. So I get the point. But they don't want to clash between them because they're first against second or first against third or
pretty
something.
Wild there, to be honest.
Yeah, love my hand folds. To a break.
So we'll go up to the final table, I think, and then we'll do the final table next time. I think that's going to be a nice cut-off point.
Yeah. It's right around 2 hours, so we have about 1 hour more of footage, and then final table starts somewhere here.
Sure.
From what I remember.
Pretty easy open.
Ace 8 of hearts. Yeah, fairly easy open here. Chip leader flats. Okay, we're checking something. Ace jack, definitely a very good texture for us. We have a lot of ace x. We're opening, like the majority of our hands are gonna have an ace x. Even our bluffs are gonna have an ace. So we can start betting small, and we can bet our entire range probably. Although we're playing against a chip leader.
I think he's just going to call like with his queen jacks and stuff like that. Obviously, all his jack x calls. There's no reason why we can't just see that flop anyway with our range.
Yeah. Now turn is interesting. 6 offsuit. You might think we want to bet all our ace x, and it might be the case, but also we want to protect our checking range here sometimes. So we're checking back pocket kings if we see bet flop with that. If we see bet in range, pocket kings, pocket queens could be checking turn, jack x checking turn. Do we need to check back like a hand like ace 4 suited? I don't know.
I think check's
it's interesting.
Nice, actually. I like check.
On a turn?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, that's an interesting hand. Maybe maybe like we want to run that hand in the wizard. What do you think?
Yeah, we can definitely look at that one. Bring it up.
We don't have so many hands here, and so many possible
decent
spots.
Amount of like bet check though, right? Like we definitely have some bet check, and like on a kind of like non equity shift in turn, like this 6 of diamonds is just basically a dead card. His queen jack, jack 10 and stuff like that is still going to call a bet, but once we check, we allow them to either turn their hand into a bluff if they have a bluff hand. And like they're going to have some spades and stuff like that, obviously, but I don't feel like we burn too much of the equity as well by checking, because like he can still bet river, right? Like if it comes spade, he bets river, we call, we're going to win a bunch anyway, right? But I think he's just more weighted to having jack x hands, and if he's got like jack 10, maybe he just folds turn because I'm weighted to having way more ace x, like the stronger ace x. So I don't know, it's quite interesting spot.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. But in the meanwhile, everybody who's watching, give us your thoughts about the turn. Would you rather bet or check the turn? And then we're gonna check it out in the wizard. Just a second. I'm ready.
Good.
See.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Now, how are we gonna go about this? First of all, we're gonna open the wizard. Now we're gonna create a new sim, new solution, and then we're gonna go here and click on ICM, and then we wanna do a custom payout structure. How many left? 13 left. So we don't need to put more than 13 payouts here, because it doesn't matter. Everyone else that busted, they got their price already. That's out of the tournament. So 300K, you don't need to write 1,000, just we need the proportions. So
I have it
I'm
somewhere,
gonna put
actually.
it here.
I do have
Sorry?
the payout. I do have the actual payout.
I do have it as well. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. That's more helpful then.
Yeah. 37. Place 29.6, 29.6, 24, 24, and 13th place is 19.8. Okay, so we have the payouts here, and now what we want to do is put big blinds range and who we're playing against. Actually, small blinds range. So we have to put the stacks in. Small blind is
80, just 85, right? Basically 86 effective, 87.
80, yeah, something like that. And we see bet flop, and so 3.5, 27.7, something like that. Okay, so we are what button cutoff? Hijack. So hijack versus small blind. Stacks, we have to put in stacks, but before that I want to copy paste the ranges, which I'm gonna take right from HRC, yeah.
From HRC, yeah.
Yeah, I have to copy paste that because Wizard doesn't have the preflop solver with ICM yet, but that's coming soon, as far as I know, from a very, very good source. So ranges look like that. We can see we are opening a lot of ace-x, so ace-8 off plus, some frequencies here, all the suited aces, and his range looks like that. He still flats a lot because he's the chip leader. His risk premium against us on a hijack is 4.4%. So he's not scared at all. On the other side, we have 11.6% against him. So
yeah,
fairly big advantage post flop for him. And now we want to put in the stacks. So the stacks are, I'm just gonna do that, 41, 16, 5, 18, and then we gotta look at the other table. Give me 1 second.
you can just go back in the video a little bit, right? Yeah.
I have it here. So 45, 35. Whoa, crap. We are 13 players, mate. We need 13 stacks. 45, 35, 28, 23, 18, 13. That's it. We have all the stacks, we have everything. So it takes a while, but once you save that tournament, let's say for the next spot, it's gonna take a lot less, right? So that's it. Now I'm gonna give it maximum amount of bets and raises, and we're gonna use the option to apply everything to flop and turn, flop, turn, and river, everything. So same bet, same sizings for the hijack, and let's see what the solver is gonna spit out. Flop is ace, jack. So we're gonna remove all the leads. There is no leading anyways. So here's what I don't like about this. Sometimes it doesn't guess the right sizing. So what you can do is just click here and add a few sizes. So let's say you wanna add 25 and then 1 big blind. Let's see what would the solver prefer. Yeah, it's never gonna bet 40% on that texture. and it's not a range bet. Pocket kings checking the flop. It's mostly one big blind, so we can just remove all the sizes and leave one big blind in there. That's now going to increase the c-bet frequency because we're not using any other sizes. So we can say that's a range bet for one big blind, although we have a big, discrepancy between the risk premiums. So we go for one big blind. Again, we have some sizes that I don't like here. So let's say I'm gonna go, probably just wanna go very small with the check raise, 4 big blinds. So that's how I do it when I have to really be precise, right? I will give it all the sizes and I see like the most preferred size is, it's somewhere between 25% and 40%. So what I can do here is just remove everything besides this one and let it have one size because I don't want to be overcomplicating my life. Now, there was a point in Discord chat that people are not going to check raise a flop with ace-x. That's also true. But let's see now what will the solver do on a 6 as a baseline. Going for 44%. So what I like in these spots is give one big size, one small size, and maybe even one middle size. And see, because maybe we want to split our range. Yeah, seems like a small size here with the majority of our holdings. Jack X is mostly checking if the kicker is low. You can see Jack 8, Jack 9, Jack 10, and Queen Jack are checking. King Jack is mostly betting. Okay, so we can say we're value betting King Jack plus. Pocket Queens betting, pocket kings checking, as that's based on what we're blocking. I guess with kings we're blocking auto faults such as king 10, king 10 and king queen, so that's why kings are a better check because we're blocking his auto faults. Queens are getting more value with this bet and protection. So let's say it's gonna be 40% and we're not gonna have multiple sizes. And your hand, ace-8, seems like it's betting, but let's not get confused by that frequency because we can see ace-10 is checking a lot, ace-queen is even checking sometimes, right? So we can say a lot of ace-x is checking, and again, I'll go back to how aggressive my opponent is here. And if I'm thinking he's very, very aggressive, I'm leaning towards checking back ace-8 a lot. Right? Because then I'll give him the chance to bluff, right? And maybe even thin value bet some hands that are not worth the value bet. So based on his aggression, if he's very passive, maybe I go for a small bet, try to get some value from Jack, right? Jack is probably calling this bet. Yeah, Jack is never folding here, although it's fairly close. King Jack, Queen Jack, fairly close. Yeah, so we're really trying to make like pocket pairs fold the turn, nothing else. You see 8s and 7s are 0 EV. Yeah, and obviously like naked gut shots, Queen 10 of hearts, King 10 of hearts, King Queen. So yeah, see what happened in the hand. I think you checked back and bluff catch the river. Let's see. Yeah, he goes for, what is that? Like 35, 37%.
Yeah.
Something like that. Now we have a very easy call. Obviously never raising this for value. Let's see, we check back here. The river's 5. What is he gonna bet here for value? So he'll have two sizes essentially. I'll remove the size in the middle because he either has a jack that he wants to value bet, such as King Jack and Queen Jack. You can see Jack 10, Jack 9 are checking because we can have Queen Jack ourselves. Or he has an ace-x plus that he can bet for a bigger size, which is around 2/3 pot here. Mostly block betting the river. So let's see what he did. What he showed here.
Jack,
Jack
right?
10.
Yeah, queen jack.
Queen jack off. Oh, interesting. He actually found the queen jack off flat pre, which, I mean, not found, but he ended up flatting it pre, which is a pure 3-bet. As we can see, his preflop range, that's a pure 3-bet preflop. So that's a guy, I mean, he's a good player, but he's a guy who's likely to be flatting a bit more than what he needs to do in theory. And yeah, I mean, queen jack is worth a bet for 25%. So maybe he bet a bit too much, but he found a value bet with queen jack. So that's what I'm saying. It's not only about bluffing, it's also about how thin he's going to value bet. Because if he starts value betting hands like jack 10 and jack 9, then our check back on the turn is pretty good, right? Because he's putting more money into the pot than he's supposed to.
Yeah, I feel like we probably make more money by checking the turn in this specific scenario with this hand. But like, if he has a hand like, I don't know, king 10 of spades or something on the river, once I check turn, he's probably going to bluff river as well.
Yeah, king 10 is mixing. So if he bluffs all of that, then we have to check back.
Yeah.
Right? That's the idea. If he bluffs, let's say, all the deuces, threes, and fours, we need to check back. If he bluffs, let's say, I mean, there are not too many hands, but if he bluffs all these bluffs here, like flush draws, gut shots coming from broadways, if he's doing that, if he bluffs like king queen, for instance, which he's not supposed to do, then we definitely want to check back and just yeah, make money in this way. Right? I mean, fun spot, interesting one. To wrap it up, we can say it can go either way on the turn. As we see, the solver is mixing it up. So depending on the player, we can decide on what to do. And I think you chose the best option here, because he shows up with a hand he's not supposed to, and he value bets it for slightly bigger than what he's supposed to. So you're making putting something in the back.
Yeah.
By checking back and bluff catching. All right. Good point here in the Discord. Yeah, if somebody is very sticky, then you have to bet the turn. If they're passive and sticky, they're stationed, they're not going to bluff the river, but they're going to call the turn. That means ace-8 wants to bluff the turn. Sorry, to value bet the turn. If you're playing against a very aggressive player, that might make some, you know, folds on the turn, then you want to check and bluff catch. Let's see. Next hand. Okay, nothing to see here. You're paying attention to the other table. I always have my other, like the other table open on my other screen, trying to write notes when I am 2 tables left.
Yeah,
so
I mean, like when you're streaming
nice
as well, it's when you're streaming, it's nice to display it so people also have an idea about the other players.
Yeah. Oh, interesting spot here. Let's see. So I just saw that I love my hand has 5-4 clubs. So let's see. Bets. Okay, 5-4 calls here. Definitely no reason to raise. Check. He probably fears getting check raised. I don't know if Kokinieto is gonna check jam that turn all that often.
I probably bet the turn with I love my hands.
Yeah, I like betting it as well. I mean, if he check jams, I mean, that's terrible, but I don't expect him to be doing it very often.
I don't know how often he's going to check jam on this texture though, right? Blind versus blind. It seems a bit.
Yeah, not too often at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it happens, I'm gonna cry, but it's not gonna happen too often.
Yeah, but you're gonna live to play another hand, so it's right.
And also, if you check back, you can still bluff the river, because if you have, let's say, a king 5 or king 6, you don't have 2 streets. You don't have turn and river. You have only one street. So you might as well check back and value bet the river. And that's what he's doing. Cocky, is he gonna... No, he didn't fold. I mean, if we know his hand. Okay. 4-3. Not blocking any flush draws. Not blocking a lot of bluffs. On king 7 deuce, actually not blocking even one bluff with that 4 spades. The 3 is obviously not blocking bluffs either. So
It was a very
Yeah,
spot.
Sorry?
It's a very spot. Like, I'm not sure if this is the hand you want a hero call with, but at the same time, it's not terrible because it's not blocking any of the flush draws.
I mean,
it's blocking 4-5.
If you have, if you have, I mean, he's blocking 4-5, but 4-5 is not calling a c-bet on King 7 deuce unless it's 4-5 hearts
or
clubs, and he's not blocking it. So if he had, let's say, Queen of Hearts, Jack of Hearts, blocking some flop floats, or Queen of Clubs, Jack of Clubs, that would be worse to bluff catch with. So the 4 is actually kind of a good card to bluff catch with. And it comes down to how often he thinks I love my hand is bluffing. And he's probably turning some ace highs into a bluff on the river sometimes, who knows. So that 4-3, actually I don't blame, I kind of like this call on the river. Against, you don't blame, you're coming with a note. So in a high stakes environment, I like this call. In a low stakes environment, I don't like it at all because people won't have enough bluffs on the river.
Yeah, low stakes it's definitely a mega under bluff spot, whereas in high stakes it's different.
Yeah. I think you decided to fold this, which seems like a call to me. We have the biggest stack. I wouldn't fold this. On the other side, he'll have a fairly tight range. Did you fold this? Yeah, I think so. So let's see. Hijack. We have this hand solved. Hijack is opening fairly tight, as I said, 20%. He's some kind of mid-short stack. Small blind is way shorter than the other two stacks. UTG and button are similar. So kind of tight for hijack. Not extremely tight, but still below 20%. And from the big blind. Yeah, I mean, this proves your point. By folding ace-8 off, you're saying, we don't like defending an ace here that much because we're playing against a very tight range. There is some risk premium, so we gotta be careful. Even for us against him, there is some risk premium. And the thing is, when he...
I'd rather have 7-8 off against instead of ace-8 off, because my ace is likely dominated, whereas like my 7-8 is unlikely dominated, because the lowest ace-x he should open is ace-8 off, but he's probably not even opening ace-8 off for 100% frequency.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So we do dominate some of the low suited aces, but on the other hand, I mean, we know his range is very, very tight, and he's gonna play well on most textures, right? Having that range advantage and position. So I don't mind over folding slightly against a really good player, and even folding hands like 8-7 off and 7-6 off and 9-8 off, 10-8 off. All of these are shave out against a very good player because of his tight range and position advantage. Yeah. And then the low ace-x off, we can turn into a bluff. Even sub 20 big blinds, we have a 3-bet fold with these ones. They're not blocking his raise folds. And we can see again the Jack 10 suited being the magic hand here. Everything revolves around it. Jack 10, Queen 10, Queen 9.
These broadways, like with the Queen 10 and King 10s and stuff like that, they're like super hands.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see King, Queen, and King Jack calling because they are gonna keep his bluffs in, right? We're gonna keep like King 9, Queen 9.
Yeah, they're gonna be ahead. They're gonna dominate his King X.
Yeah. That's why we don't wanna do it in a linear fashion where we jam the strong ones, right?
Yeah.
So folding here, thinking he's opening quite tight. Probably right about that.
I think this is the difference as well. This is like very locked in, right? I'm talking about every single spot. I'm giving my thought process on every single spot. And the difference is when you're doing that, you're really locked in, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and you can also feel how everyone else is feeling when you're so locked in based on their showdowns, but also based on their sizings and timings. You might get a sense of who is tilted, who is like more cautious and tight, and yeah, I mean sometimes you just have a feeling you have to fold, right?
Yeah.
Based on something your intuition knows because you've been playing for so many years, so many hands that. You don't know why, but you feel like you gotta fold, and I respect that. And I know you're a field player, and yeah, I think that's the way to go. Here,
Like,
what
look
do we
at this
think
jam
about?
from Luckbox. It's just like, that's what I mean. Like, that's just so
Yeah,
bad. You like flatting?
the tens,
Yeah, I mean, you just jam, right?
just jam. I mean, we don't have. There is no way for us
There's
to
no, yeah, there's no
really
other way of
call
playing the hand.
fold.
There's no like clicking or like, there's no folding at all. Like, it's just put the money in.
Yeah. What do we think about big blind score though?
Yeah, it's
Where it gets interesting. 12 left. 12 left. It gets very, very close. Obviously, button is way wider than he should be.
but I can't
But
be that
our
wide.
range,
That's the difference. I can't be that
yeah,
wide. Like, I still have
yeah,
this guy with 15 bigs in the big blind, so I can't be that wide. I'm also risking like 7 big blinds more than the other guys all in for, right? So I can't be that wide. Like,
yeah.
what's my worst hand I jam here? Like ace 10 off, probably.
I mean, depending on what we think about the button, if we think he's jamming a lot, because first of all, he's the shortest stack out of the whole tournament, probably. I don't know if there is a shorter stack than him, so he can be jamming a lot. We cover the big blind, which means he's gonna fold a bunch. So yeah, and if we assume that he's gonna jam wider than that because he's luck box 21, then we gotta go. We gotta jam wider here in the small blind. And I mean, ace jack suited seems like a snap call in that scenario against luck box and you. Against other players, it might be the bottom, but I'm not folding. I mean, ace jack suited seems like way too good. Button versus cutover. Sorry, button versus small blind versus big blind. And because the stacks are very, very shallow, it's not like we're committing 25 big blinds.
Yeah.
So let's see. Button is jamming that range. 10-9 off might be a raise fold sometimes, but we prefer hands with blockers such as king 8, off king 9 off, top of our folding range, bottom of our jamming range, queen 7 suited, jack 7 suited, and this is just 10-9 is just in there for board coverage. So yeah, not a good jam at all. Small blind rejams ace 5 off against this, but we don't want to rejam like ace 5 and ace 6, I would say, because these don't make anything, right? And we have an edge.
Probably take ace 9, ace 10 off as like my bottom.
Yeah, in game.
In game, like ace 9 off minimum is like my lowest. I wouldn't take ace 8 off.
So we gotta be wider here just because the button is the shortest stack and he needs to be jamming, because by folding he's not gonna get a pay jump or not gonna get much, right? It's not like the bubble. On the bubble he's gonna be very tight because he's playing for that min cash, but on the final table, 12 left, he should be jamming a lot. And against the luck box, who is someone who's gonna jam more than that, we have to take maybe like ace 7 out, I would say, because of luck box. Otherwise, I don't mind passing on ace 7 as well. Right, if we think we have this edge, like ace 5, ace 6, we're not even talking about. So yeah, we didn't show the big blinds range. Big blinds range is this. So yeah, ace 10 suited is break even. So yeah, ace jack suited is bottom. In that spot. And if we think button is wider because he's a whale, and you are wider because of the button, then maybe we take ace-10 suited, but it's marginally plus EV. So just because of this assumption, maybe we want to take that as a bottom, but in other scenarios, we just fold that. Take ace-jack suited as a bottom. Okay. 5-3, nothing to do here. Okay, Ponk is shelved, 420, pocket tens, and Ponk is out. 5 deuce. I think you folded here against the oh, somebody's out. Oh no, he doubled up. You folded here against Koki, which I don't like because he's button, so his range is wider, but even more than that, we have a lot of big blinds. So it's not like he's gonna go, we're second against first. It's not like he's gonna go bet jam all the time. And our hand connects, so I'd rather fold like Jack 7 off, for instance, than 5 deuce suited. I haven't seen the same, but just
I think flat and 5 deuce suited's really fine.
I mean, it's kind of marginal. Also, it's not like 5-4 suited, right? And if he's very good and aggressive, yeah, if he's very good and aggressive, then you can make an argument for folding too. But let's see the EVs here. So his range is gonna be wide as fuck, 70%. He's a chip leader, and he's chip leading by a lot, which means, yes, it means his risk premium against the other two is 0, like 2%, 3%. And then your risk premium against him is extremely high. But how risk premium works is it is based on how much of your stack you're committing. So against a min raise, you're still committing like 2 big blinds, so 4% of your stack is not that much, right? If he is asking for 10% of your stack or 15% of your stack, then it would have been much, much, much tighter, right? So risk premium is based on what percentage of your stack you have to call. So in that case, I expect most suited hands. Yeah, so yeah, 5 deuce actually not all that exciting. So I don't mind the fold with 0-0-2.
Right? Yeah, it's break even.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you don't see any hands showing high EV because of ICM. You can see Jack 7 suited is 0.08. But yeah, I don't mind that against a good player. And Jack 7, as I said, intuitively is 0 EV. So I'll definitely fold Jack 7 off before I fold 5 deuce suited because that hand is dominated a lot and doesn't make any good hands. The other thing about this is how we structure our 3-betting range. On purpose, I run it with 5x, 6x, and 7x, and you can see the solver is choosing 7x for 3-bet size. So we don't want to be going small here at all. Like 5x is small because 50 against 100, second against first. We don't want to play any pots post flop, any. And you can see even kings are not that thrilled about 3-betting. Like queens not 3-betting at all. Like there'll be a huge difference here. Yeah, we can see huge difference between 3-betting and calling in terms of EV. Because queens, let's say you get it in queens against ace king. Terrible situation. Like just like it's the end of the world. Because if you sit out, you're gonna get 5 pay jumps. Right? Second stack. If you sit out, you're gonna get like few pay jumps for sure. So yeah, that's how we play this spot from the big blind. Don't mind the fold. Now that we see 0.02.
I mean, I think people will be very quick to be like, oh, how do you fold this pre? And it's like, well, it's not really that much of a big deal.
Yeah, I agree. So
yeah, like
I don't remember what you did here.
I just go 3.5x, I think. I might have limped.
I don't think you're limping this spot with 50 big blinds against 23. By knowing you, I think you probably raise, but I don't remember.
It's me.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let's see.
I do a lot of raising. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. You went 3x. I probably like 3.5 more because because I would go 3 probably at 17, 18 big blinds, 2.5 at 15 big blinds, maybe 3.3 here would be my sizing, because I want to raise hands like, you know, Jack 6 off. Like, I want to raise a lot here. I don't like limping. Maybe I just never limp and decide between raising and jamming. Right, so jamming all the 6-7 suited, all the ace-x, most of it, right? And then raising non-all-in with strong pairs, like 7s plus or something, or 6s plus, and strong suited aces, and then raising a lot of trash hands or semi-trash hands, like just bluffing a lot. Let me find the sim. Yeah, indeed, not much limping. I would probably just eliminate limping here for the most part. Yeah, we're jamming a lot of these suited combos. Then we're raising the bottom, like raising 7 deuce suited. We're raising like pure frequency 7-4 off, which I wanted to say actually that I'm gonna raise 7-4 off, but I felt like I was not sure. But yeah, we're raising
7-4 off's a good one.
Yeah, a lot of trash hands we're raising instead of limping because of the risk premium.
Yeah, you
What
don't
do we
want to
have
limp.
here? King deuce off.
I think you can eliminate limping like a lot.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you nailed it though. I mean, king 5 is jamming, king 4 is jamming, but king deuce is not. You can jam. It's similar EV, but I like raising non-all-in more.
I think like
in practice.
Honestly, I think yeah, like in practice and like in game, just going like 3x or 3.5x here is just gonna be really nice. Like, it's kind of an overkill when you think you have an edge on the table, or you feel like you're playing really well, you're in the zone, and you're just like, I don't really need to be jamming these spots. You know you can jam, you know it's profitable, but do you really need to risk it? Probably not. It's still half your stack at the end of the day, right? Like,
I agree. There are some hands that you just have to jam, like pocket deuces, right? Pocket deuces will have, you can see the EVs, it's like 0.17 against 0.10 against 0.07. So that's jamming versus limping versus raising non-all-in. So deuces you have to jam, like ace deuce off you have to jam, 7-6 suited you have to jam. But king deuce off can go either way, and I'm with you on this one. I'm definitely going non-all-in. Now, how would this change against an aggressive player? Against a passive player, we're gonna raise our whole range. But against an aggressive player, I might just start implementing some limps and limp jam the deuces instead of open jamming. Or
I would play deuces as a limp jam here. I'd play deuces, 3s, 4s, 5s as a limp jam here versus an aggressive opponent who's going to 3.5x versus my limp or 4x versus my limp for sure.
Yeah, same for the ace-x.
The ace-x as well, yeah. Like the ace-8s, the ace-9s and stuff like that, I would still do it.
Yeah. But against the population, we just want to be open jamming. Like 5K field, you get some, well-studied players out there. So yeah, for the most part, I'll stick to jamming these deuces and threes and ace deuce. Sorry?
No, it's all right. I'm just muting someone. I don't know. Okay.
Okay, that was Lucas, and I muted him.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but if somebody wants to say something, it's better to do it in the chat.
I don't think he knew, to be honest.
Yeah, he didn't know, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. We went 3x. Did it call? I think he folded. He called. Okay. 8-6 deuce. Interesting one. I mean, I'd go for a small c-bet here. We want protection. I think he doesn't want to float too much because the risk premium. You went slightly bigger than what I had in mind, but still on the small side. Okay, queen, no reason to bluff here. We still have showdown value against some hands against some ace-x, against some floats, some gut shots. So I'd rather just check this.
Yeah, I like checking turn and then betting river. When he checks, if he checks back turn, I just bet river, because the thing is, like, my deuce isn't going to be worth that much on a lot of rivers, and if I can get him to fold a 6, then it's like pretty good. And this is just a very easy bet here, I think, with the ace. Open pre, c-bet flop, bet, check, bet. You don't even need to go that big, actually, to be honest with you.
I mean, what are we repping here? We're repping an ace, right? Because a queen bets the turn. Pocket jacks don't have value on the river. Pocket kings bet the turn. So we're repping an ace. And we have to go big, I believe, because on the small blind we'll have so many hands like 7-3 suited and like jack 7 off and like king deuce off and king 7 off and so many potential bluffs. So we're repping an ace. If we're repping an ace plus and then they're infinite bluffs, we have to go big. That's how I see it. Oh, you're thinking about all of it.
that looks pretty big.
I see. Okay. I'm curious to hear what you were saying here. Yeah, it seems like a good size for an ace to bet here on the river for value. Because we don't have an all-in sizing with ace jack, for instance, if we have that. Because he might just have like ace deuce, ace 6, ace 8. So yeah, seems like a good sizing to fold out an 8. A 6 probably folds. An 8, I don't know if he's gonna fold an 8. Why? Because an 8 is pretty much towards the top of his range. Like a queen, he's gonna bet the turn fairly often. Queen, once you check the turn, queen seems like a clear value bet. So he has some ace-x, definitely. He'll have that. And then after that comes an 8. So if I have an 8 here on the river, I probably just call you. And then with a 6, depending on the blocker, probably just fold for the most part, right? Depending on what I'm blocking.
I think with like I'm going for more of getting a 6 to fold and not an 8 to fold. And
yeah, exactly.
Don't think that that they ever have a queen when it goes check check.
That's the goal of this bet, right? The goal of this bet is to target a 6 and not an 8. And we're happy if he folds a 6.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right? So, yeah, sometimes you'll be bluffing here and then he calls with an 8 and you'll be like, damn, like, why am I bluffing this spot? I dusted so much. But the thing is, if he folds like all the 6s, you're printing. I'm fairly sure.
Yeah, I think if you're just targeting like his 6x, because he has a lot of 6x flats pre-flop as well. So if you're just targeting the 6x, I think it's fine.
Yeah, decent amount of suited ones, not too many off-suited ones because you raise pre-flop, but decent amount of suited, pretty much all the suited 6x except for maybe 6 deuce and 6 3, suited like all the others. Yeah, and then he's gonna call the flop and check back the turn, so he'll have a lot of that. Yeah.
It's just pretty binned, right? Can't do much on the river.
Yeah. He'll have some pocket 5s and pocket 7s as well, sometimes.
Yeah. I feel like he just jams all those pre versus open.
Yeah, in practice, people do that. The solver likes to flat some of the pocket pairs here and then jams the bottom ones and the middle ones and uses with the top ones. But in practice, I see people just jamming all the pairs up to, let's say, pocket 10s or something. So yeah, good point, good point. I mean, we gotta think what are they doing in practice and what is not what the solver is doing. Raising against the chip leader. Yeah, I like checking back. We definitely don't want to be betting high frequency against the chip leader. He has twice our stack. Our range is fairly wide because we're the button. And yeah, I like checking this one back. Now, I'll start barreling the turn with the ace of diamonds, always. For a big size, we can rep a queen, we can rep pocket jacks, we can rep pocket tens, 8-10, ace 10 as well, like a good 10 can bet the turn for value with the big size. Yeah, you missed that. I don't mind checking back ace jack, but with the ace of diamonds, I like betting. Do we check back the river?
He bet
we
one,
call the block.
Yeah, he bet one big.
Okay. I mean, he played it well.
Yeah, I think so.
Props to Coquinieto finding the block bet on the river. Queen 6, checking back, checking here. You start bluffing, I like that. He's calling, and then Fearless BJP. Oh, you checked it actually. Okay, yeah, I mean, if he check called the turn, he certainly has something. He's not check calling like 7-6. So we don't have any showdown value. Is he gonna fold against you? It depends on your image. Your image is aggressive, to be honest. So I don't mind giving up.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I think
based on that.
I think this one's like all right, honestly. Like he can still have hands like 10-5 off here as well, you know. Like I can actually still win.
He's probably betting that though instead of check calling. I think he's betting at 10 himself.
Yeah.
But you do have better bluffs. You do have hand like 10x, like 10 high that you're
10-3,
bluffing on the river.
10-5, 10-6, like these, you know,
Yeah.
these are really nice ones. 10 deuce.
Yeah, all of these. And if you feel like, again, if you feel like he's gonna call, I don't mind even, checking back more than you should in theory, because once he check calls the turn, it seems like he'll have a lot of 8x, 9x, and all of these bluff catchers, he can convince himself to bluff catch because of your image, and your image is usually aggressive. Yeah, so I don't mind giving up with that image a little bit more. I don't care about what the solver says here. We're playing the game, as Nachito likes to say.
That's it. We're playing the game.
We're playing the game. Interesting. Check raise, full freak. Check raising. Okay, interesting hand here. Let's see the showdown. So he defended big blind, then check raise a flop. And let's see. I mean, the 7's not really good for him, probably checking a lot here. On the other hand, SPR is very, very small. So either a small bet or a check. See what he does. Tough one on a 7.
I would check
Yeah, his
quite
range.
a lot anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna be checking a lot here, based on how ranges look like. Button's gonna have a lot more 7x. And Jack 3 suited, for instance, is counterfeited. No reason to bet Jack 7 anymore. Love my hand goes for a very small one, targeting like Queen 9 suited type of bluffs.
Yeah.
9x. Full freak checks again. At this point, full freak might have some Jack X still on the river that check raise flop with. So let's see. He probably needs to call. Yeah, Queen Jack. He probably needs to call that Queen Jack, especially with the Queen of Spades, not blocking any backdoor floats. So
I'll probably just jam
the
free,
difference,
to be honest. Like,
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's a mandatory jam actually.
yeah,
Preflop.
like what? Like,
yeah.
Why play post? There's just no need, right?
I agree. Queen Jack.
Queen Jack suit is just pure.
Yeah.
That's probably why I love my hand, was like, what the fuck is he raising me with on this flop?
I like him checking the turn though, and I would definitely bluff catch the river because again the queen of spades not blocking queen ten of hearts, a queen ten of diamonds, not blocking like these queen high king high floats that can bet the turn, jam the river. So yeah, that's probably his plan too. Okay, we have a little bit more till the final table. We're 3 out of 8, but still not at the final table.
Yeah, I think the final table comes within the next 10 minutes or something. I can't remember. The thing is, though, the hands are so interesting that when we break them down, it's like the analysis is very deep, right? And we're also looking at some of the hands that the other guys have played as well. So it's not...
Yeah, you have a lot of info at this point. I like the fold here, 9-5 off.
Yeah, no need.
Against the bigger stack. Yeah. King 10, we're opening. Maybe we want to go 2.2 here. 2.3 against the shorty. Okay, here he jams. Very easy fold. Yeah, there are no hands, not too many hands right now, but there is one coming up.
That's the king jack suited hand, right? Versus nines.
No, that's a bit later. Yeah. What did you do here?
Just open.
Raise 7th? Yeah, standard. Okay, he jams. There are no hand, no decisions here for us. Ace-9, gotta open. There is a post-flop spot here. Ace-10-5.
I think I just bet 1.5 bigs. I can't remember. Or 1 big, yeah.
I disconnect my headphones.
This guy's quite sticky.
I can still hear you. Yeah, so here you can check or you can bet with most of your aces. I think the solver is gonna mix a lot. Even ace-9. 9 of hearts I like for betting. It gives us some extra equity. Lowers the chance of us getting check raise, which would be a disaster. But I don't mind checking as well. It can go both ways. We definitely want to check back some ace-x, pocket kings, pocket queens as well, some 10x. It's never a range bet this situation against such a huge chip leader. So
yeah, because our risk premium is so high.
Yeah. Risk premium gap, right? There is a huge gap between his risk premium and your risk premium. You have a fairly easy check back on the turn. With ace-9, there is no reason to bet. There is no value in betting, and of course he might have a stronger hand. He might have queen jack. Obviously, we saw him flatten queen jack off like some time ago. That was him. He can have king 10. Yeah, so seems like we don't have 3 streets of value, so I like checking back the turn. Checking the turn back. Betting probably is jack ace queen. And now he goes for a big size. I think we just have to call. Like, I mean, I'm not happy holding the 9 of hearts because we're blocking, let's say, jack 9 of hearts, queen 9 of hearts, 9 8 of hearts. But still, we have, I mean, we still have an ace against somebody who flats queen jack off preflop, which means he might have 7-6 of hearts, he might have 6-5 suited, which he turns into a bluff. He might decide to turn 10-9 into a bluff or 10 jack into a bluff, right?
Yeah, 10
so
jack,
against this guy,
10 jack's a really good one.
Yeah. Can he have pocket sixes with a heart? Might also have that, calling against one big blind on the flop and turning that into a bluff. So yeah, 9 of hearts is a bad one to have, really bad one. But I'm still probably calling against this guy. I think you called and he had queen jack off again.
Yeah, I did call.
Yeah.
I was very annoyed about it as well, but like I think you probably have to call. He's going to be overbluffing like quite high frequency, especially the fact that he's chip leader.
Yeah, and he's playing a wide range preflop.
Yeah, I think Pastel's correct though. He
it-
does still have tens there sometimes. Yeah.
I like 3-betting here in all-in.
Yeah. Just make it like 8 bigs, or you want
Probably
to go
even
bigger?
7.
7 or 8. Yeah. Okay.
Because of our stack. Maybe make it 8 with 30 big blinds or more, and with 23 I think 7 is good. Again, I haven't seen the sim, but I've seen so many sims with where ace-4 here would take aggressive action. So let me try to find it.
Ace-4 is a nice 3-bet, non all-in. I do like it.
It's not gonna be pure, but
probably like
30%.
I reckon probably like 30%, something like that.
We can do it. Let's see. So that's his range. That's how his range looks like. The purple is jam. So he's jamming quite a lot. Min raising 5s plus, and then some bottom hands that are not worth a shove. You can see like how 10-6 and 10-9 suited are shoving, and then everything below that is just a bluff. Same for queen 8 and below. So against that, indeed our bluffs are gonna come from low offsuited aces. So ace-3, ace-deuce are the best ones because we're not blocking raise folds, but ace-4 in there as well. So we can make the argument of, depending on how he plays that spot and how often he chooses to raise non-all-in with, let's say, jack 5 suited, 10-6 suited, 8-5 suited, because I think people would rather raise 8-5 suited than jam. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is kind of a hot spot, I would say, because here it's very easy to open, let's say, 55%, and these extra 10% are all gonna be raised folds. He's not gonna call against a 3-bet with these jack 5 suited or whatever, queen deuce suited or 6-4 suited. So that's why I think we might actually want to 3-bet a big higher frequency with ace-4 off, ace-5 off, maybe king-7 off, king-5 off, king-6 off. I mean, we can't go 100%, but it's worth considering. And against the button, we just, yeah. On the other hand, we're 8 left, and I don't remember if the final table was 7-handed. I think it was 7-handed, so that's the final table below. Yeah, you ended up folding that, which probably doesn't make all that much EV. Yeah, it's 0.04, 0.05 pre-flop, so it's not a big deal here. Would you describe Koki as an aggressive player, Koki Nieto?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Pretty aggressive.
So against him.
Plays like quite passive post, which I've seen, but like we didn't have that many situations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't see too many showdowns here,
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's see what he did. Okay, nothing here. Just, oh, I love my hand. So he goes for a raise with the kings, which I like very much.
I would just say this king 4 suit is just pure call.
In theory, the king deuce suited would be jamming, I think, because of the deuce effect and not blocking like raise, because he's not gonna raise 7 deuce off probably.
Yeah.
But maybe he knew Koki is aggressive, and that's why he thought like if it's similar EV, he wants to jam king 4. Maybe that's the reasoning. We don't know. They certainly have some dynamics between them if they're playing 5Ks together. Right? They must be playing quite a lot because the fields here are very, very small. Did we make it to the final table?
Yeah, it's final now, isn't it?
I think we did.
We can leave it there. It was exactly an hour from when we said. In real time, it was
Yeah.
35 minutes past.
Yeah. So we made it to the final table, 4 out of 8. 48, no, 3, 7, 48,000 locked. And pay jumps are getting bigger now, you know, with first place paying 300,000. So very, very exciting final table. What do we know about the players? I mean, at this point, we have a Crusher, Deki, Top Crusher, Dead by FOMO, another Crusher, Full Freak as well, Shetlef, not sure, but Red seems like a Crusher.
Yeah, he's good, very good. Plays like high stakes, plays like mid to high. Everything I've seen him do in the past has been he's been very tough to play against. So, I mean, I haven't checked his shark scope for a while, but if I just had a little look,
What about Zhao?
Don't know anything about him. Okay, Shetlif's opted out, but average stakes 228, abilities 92. So, and Zhao, I've seen Zhao more actually in the high stakes stuff. Yeah, average stakes £750. So like 1k, like 500s, 1ks. He's only played 100 tournaments though.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a very interesting final table. I know you got very deep into it. I looked at the spots, some very interesting spots. Deki got deep as well. Always fun to watch him win like 10 out of 15 tournaments he's ever played somehow, although he's a cash game player. So if you like this, follow for the next for the next part. And now this is the time to also make a little announcement. I've created this program called Final Table Academy that is going to be running throughout the series for about 2 months, which is going to be a group coaching project with some other fellow coaches. We still haven't announced it, so it's pretty much the first time that I'm saying this out loud. Follow me on Instagram and stay updated for the details. There'll be an application form. We're not going to get too many players in. We just want the best ones, so we work as a group. We work tight together. We help each other progress, and hopefully we end up banking some big scores throughout the series that are coming actually very, very soon. 23rd of August, Coin Poker series start, and then the other sites start around the same date as well. So exciting times.
It's gonna be fucking busy, mate. It's so busy that I'm not going to EPT Barca. So
yeah, I'm not going either.
Yeah, online's gonna be way better. So
for me, it's all in on this whole thing. Like I've put everything I've worked on for the past few years, like terabytes of sims into this.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And there'll be some mental game sessions as well.
Yep.
So that's my Instagram. I just dropped it. In Discord, for some reason, it's not working.
There we go. Yeah, Enrico's got it.
Enrico puts it there. All right, thanks, Enrico. Thank you so much. Thanks, boss. And yeah, follow us for more info. I can't wait to go over the next one.
Man, yeah.
The actual final table, you know.
I just want to thank you for your time. Obviously, like, you know, this was just a complete awesome thing that we did. You know, obviously you didn't gain anything from it financially, but I feel like what we did was awesome, and the way you broke down the hands and everything, it's just going to be great content, and I'm sure everyone here really appreciates it. Like, you know, we've got people who come week in, week out to the coaching sessions on Fridays that Trotman runs, you know, and like yeah, there's a good bunch in here, and I think there's you know, a lot of support. So yeah, man, thank you for your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
Final table will have to decide. I'm going to Slovakia on Monday, so maybe Friday. I don't know. We'll have to check to see what your time's like, Stoyan. Maybe we can do it.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, maybe we
but
can
you
just do
mean
it.
this Friday?
Yeah, maybe we
next
can
Friday?
just do it when we normally do the coaching session, and Trot can jump in. What do you reckon? I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm playing live this week, actually, Bobby. So yeah, if you guys are around on Friday, I think that's going to be awesome.
All right, Friday. What time normally? Like 1 o'clock our time. You have to check.
It's 2 p.m. BST. So
okay.
Let's just make a group chat and discuss that.
Yeah.
See how our schedules look like. And once again, thanks a lot for inviting me. It's a pleasure. I really like coaching in groups, in big groups, because there's always some fun comments and some interesting discussions that I'm learning from. And also, it's a pleasure seeing your hand history, because you're a very intuitive and unorthodox player, I would say, not somebody who plays by the book. So always eager to learn from you. Yeah, thanks once again, and we'll do it again very soon.
Yep, sounds good. All right, guys, nice one. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Stoyan.
Cheers. Bye bye.